Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have another amazing show for you guys today. We have our Ordinal weekly update. Every single week, we kind of go through everything that's going on in the markets, tell you guys what we're doing, what you should be looking out for, and just in general, like just a good update for your weekly review. And we have a really good one today. We had some news from Bison. We got some news from Unisat. We got some things we want to talk about. We just want to talk about some stuff that we're doing personally in our personal portfolios. It's gonna be a really good show, and top it all off with a Magic Eden and Unisat update on all the prices of things, what's going on. So let's get right into that. Let's bring out my partner, as always, Mr. Agobi. What's up, buddy?
What up? What up, man?
What's going
Got
on,
my
buddy?
Ordinals are dead shirt. Ordinals are dead. No. Ordinals are definitely not dead. Yeah. They are resurrected.
Well, I'm trying to get some stuff cheap, so I keep telling people that are dead.
Yeah.
I'm really liking these prices.
Yeah.
So
that was actually the title of BitGod's live stream on X today. Ordinals are dead.
What is that?
Yeah. But yeah, man. It's been a little bit of a weird feeling. I feel like the past couple of days, good, not necessarily bad, but it's just weird. Like Bitcoin shot up to, it actually hit 35.
Yeah.
It hit 35, and we've been ranging back between 33 and 34, like 34.3. Yeah. And I think people are just like, come on, like just go ahead and blast off. But we have to realize that we just hit like a 6,000 to 7,000 upswing, didn't we? Like a 6,000 upswing. So
from 26 to 35. Yeah. It's about what, 6?
Well, 20, I think it was hovering around 29, 28, 20. Well, 28, 29, right?
The last 10 days, it went from 26 to 35.
Wow.
In 10
that's
days.
Crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. So that's 9K. Yeah. So I think we've probably exhausted, some of that buying power. Yeah. The greed meter was definitely on, if you saw. But I don't expect like this huge dump down. Maybe we, test back down to like 31, 32. But I feel like we're kind of climbing that mountain now.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to get into something that we both kind of talked about pre-show about, like when Bitcoin shoots up, what happens to the prices of our ordinals that are priced in Bitcoin, right? Because the ordinals stuff, they still go up in price, but sometimes they go down in Bitcoin. So when something like that's happening, how do you feel about that?
Well, so I think what happens is like the higher value ordinal assets, when people feel like Bitcoin is going to take off, they're going to liquidate those higher value assets because they want to put it in Bitcoin and jump on that ride, right? And then once it kind of exhausts, then they'll put it back into whatever, ordinal. They're going to try buying them cheaper, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually a really smart strategy in my opinion, because like, and this is probably for the people that like hold like multiple OMBs or like a bunch of frogs and just the higher value assets, right? Like if they hold like a ton of like maybe sats, like a ton, I'm talking about like maybe trillion or two, and they can offload those, put it like let it sit in Bitcoin until Bitcoin is exhausted its run up for this local top, right?
Yeah.
And then once they feel like, okay, we're good for the next probably couple of months, we're gonna retest lower and then jump back up. Then that's whenever they'll probably buy back in cheaper to the ordinals.
Yeah, it makes sense. But like, so let's just say like, for instance, something is 0.02, right? And then and you bought it, you paid about $700. Bitcoin jumps from 27,000 to 35,000, right? It is now worth the floor is now 0.018, right? Down 0.2. But the value of that ordinal is up about $300, even at that 0.088 mark. Do you still see that as a loss because you're getting less Bitcoin for it, or do you see it as a win because you're actually still making money on it, dollar value?
Well, it depends on what your goal is, right? Because if it's a higher dollar value, you won, right? At the end of the day, like as much as we know that Bitcoin is the future and fiat is like a dying way of doing things, we still live in a world that like runs on fiat, right?
Yeah.
So, if you have more fiat, then in that situation, you win. But I think, the smarter strategy would be to two different ways, right? Like the one that we just talked about. Okay, if you have the sense, and some people are just natural at this, where they just, oh, Bitcoin's about to take off. I'm going to liquidate in this
Yeah.
my ordinals or whatever I have in BTC. Let it sit in BTC, and let that exhaust and run up, and then buy back in. Or you sit and you hold your ordinal, and you realize that what it might initially, as Bitcoin takes off into this bull market, it might fluctuate because people are going to sell off into Bitcoin, but there's going to be a point where it kind of it like is more stable in terms of the pricing in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But then when it really takes off, right, it's the price in Bitcoin will outpace the drop in ordinal price, right, in terms of in Bitcoin. So we have to realize that we're so used to pricing frogs at 0.02, 0.025 in that range. Let's say when Bitcoin takes off aggressively, and in this case, actually, someone floored all the frogs and it went up, which is weird, right? Yeah, but my point is that when Bitcoin is up, like let's say it gets to 80 grand, we're so used to pricing our assets in a similar way that we're not going to drop that price in manually, right?
Yeah.
Ourselves, right? We're saying a Bitcoin frog is 0.025. That's what we price it at. That's what it goes for, market rate for Bitcoin. But it's going to be worth so much more in fiat terms, right?
Yep.
So that's where the benefit lies. That's what I was trying to I was actually thinking about it myself earlier, and it just blew my mind. I was like, people don't realize this right now because we haven't had this happen before. Yeah. Even when you were on Stacks or whatever you were doing, maybe Counterparty, you bought straight Bitcoin. I'm not sure how that worked, but like on Stacks, it didn't work that way. But this is different. That's why people say this is layer one assets, layer one Bitcoin assets, because you're literally on the exchange using Bitcoin and getting the asset for it. It's an exchange direct. You're not going through another layer. You're not doing anything else in that sense to buy. So because we price everything in Bitcoin, we are going to benefit first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before Ethereum and all these other people. This is what I was talking about, the trickle down. It doesn't even have to trickle down. It's because we're already mentally programmed in pricing our Bitcoin. We know what assets go for what in Bitcoin terms, if that makes sense.
So technically, the price of Bitcoin does not matter to an ordinal enjoyer, right? Because Bitcoin could be 100K, 200K. We're still pricing our ordinals in 0.001 or whatever it is today, and it goes up or down in value, and potentially it could go up against Bitcoin or down against Bitcoin, but it's still the same. So in reality, you're really trying to find the item that's going to go up against Bitcoin, not against the dollar. So you're looking for stuff that kind of like, let's just say bitmap, for instance, right? Right now you can get a bitmap for 0.002, right? And in a year from now, in my opinion, and this is not financial advice, I lose money, but it's one of those things where I think bitmap will be eventually priced at 0.001 instead of 0.0002. So finding those things that go up against Bitcoin might be the smarter move instead of just looking at something that's going to be like thing. But so in your opinion, do you think frogs will be at 0.002 or 0.02 for a while, even if Bitcoin's 80K?
So there's two different points to this. So the point that we just discussed, and that point is we already win out the gate no matter what.
Gotcha. I understand.
And then once the hype comes, then that's whenever these assets actually drive up by individual asset, I guess like the market, what drives that asset, right? So if it's a popular collection, like frogs will be probably because they're the community, then that will drive up in value just because it's popular. Yeah. But out the gate, that frog price at 0.025, you're already winning. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? And so
I get it.
Then at that point, it's going to be about like the market selects who wins more. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So everything goes up with Bitcoin and then eventually against Bitcoin. So
exactly,
it makes sense.
Because the profits will trickle down into what people are wanting to make more money. At the end of the day, it's almost, in my opinion, not financial advice. Of course, we always say that, but we have to say that every time.
Yeah.
It's ordinals are going to be one of the main beneficiaries of the Bitcoin run up to six figures or whatever it gets to, right? because people are, let's be real, people are greedy, right? And they want to make more money. And in their mind, they're like, okay, I just made a grip of money. I think I can make more money if I'm smart in ordinals. And, that's just how the markets work.
So you're saying the house money effect. When
Pretty
you put
much.
10K in and now what you bought is now worth 20K, you feel like you have 10K in house money and that you're
Yeah.
willing to potentially go into more riskier items because if it goes to zero, you already pulled your original 10K out.
Yeah. And we got to think about it like this too, because there's a lot of people that are like, Bitcoin maxis, laser eyes, they're not going to put their money into other stuff like ordinals and all that stuff. They're just going to hold their Bitcoin and then sell into fiat or whatever they have to do. But people are just really thinking in a stereotypical way of, okay, Bitcoin maxis are the only ones that make a shit ton of money from Bitcoin, but that's not the case.
No.
People that are smart with crypto, they hold Bitcoin, a good amount of Bitcoin. They hold Ethereum. They hold like all the blue chips, right? And where do you think the Ethereum money came from in the beginning? It didn't just come from like people that popped out of nowhere. As time goes on, there are some people that do that, but you get what I'm saying? Like there are people that make millions from Bitcoin and then they put it in Ethereum and the shit coins and then they take it. They're smart. The ones that make good money, they take it out. They make their money in shit coins. They take it out, put it back into Bitcoin.
Yep. And you might see that in this cycle as well with ordinals, with your money. It's really easy to go from ordinals to Bitcoin. So, and to me, like ordinals are the easiest. If I had to put my money on the next 1000x, I think it's in ordinals, and I think we're just in the very beginning. And just like we said before, ordinals is the easiest to onboard because you can get Bitcoin absolutely anywhere.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. And we haven't seen Bitcoin L1 assets in a bull run. This is like an expectation, speculation of like a small, we're a pretty small community, but people know about us. That's how I feel we are right now. Like everybody in the crypto sphere that knows crypto at all, they know about ordinals in the community. So what I believe is going to happen is once that bull run goes up, people are going to start talking about ordinals. They're going to see that the money trickles down and everything's priced in Bitcoin. They're going to really see the effect of that. And then they're going to come running over here and then it's going to explode. And then it'll start to trickle over to maybe some of these other blue chip ecosystems.
I completely agree. So I got you.
Yeah. And when you talk about Bitcoin L1 assets, you have the rare sats, you have bitmaps, like you mentioned, and we're not going to say anything about that, but we got a little something, little information that I don't want to talk about yet until it happens. But I think there's going to be some big things with that.
Don't be hit. That person's gonna be mad if you keep hitting this.
So then the third thing is obviously like the early inscription ordinals, all these L1 assets that are just growing and growing. So it's gonna be exciting, man. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, and when you say bitmap, you got to say like metaverse, right? Because that's our metaverse here. It's not built out yet, but there's metaverses building more centralized. But it's just going to take one application for a decentralized metaverse to really start taking off, and it's already a built community. Like I keep saying, like with everything here, there's already built communities that people can take advantage of, and Bitmap is one of them.
Yeah. What about the artists though, too? Like that's another thing.
Yeah.
It might not be as big as like Ethereum in terms of like the artist community, but I feel like it's starting to get really niche in terms of like specific artists coming over here, artist communities and curated groups of artists.
Yep.
And I'm gonna give a shout out to 8-Bit, bro. Like that guy is not even, he didn't even come in as an artist. I'm calling him an artist because like every day that dude is creating something with what was it P5JS or whatever. He's coding. He's literally and it's getting better. Did you notice? Like he created like a music application. With a piano thing on there. He's not getting, I feel like he's not getting enough credit, and I definitely want to throw that out there because like the dude is just I think he's going to be some of his early stuff. People are going to pay some money for, I bet you, but who knows? I could be wrong, but I think
we'll
he'll
see.
do well.
And to your point, you said he didn't come in as an artist. He didn't come in as a dev either, and he's deving, right?
Yeah,
So,
but I feel like it's like a new aspect to digital art, bro. Like the way that they're doing it, they're creating art through code.
Yeah, it's
you know
insane.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they're creating art through code, so it's like it's crazy. It's gonna be huge.
I'm excited for it.
All right. I'll let you start off this one because this one's kind of, I don't know how I feel about this one, dude.
So Bison Labs, we had Jay Lee on the show. They were working with Tap Exchange, Tap Benny, shout out Benny, always, speaking of devs, always Devin. So Bison Labs was
BRC20 first, remember?
Were they doing BRC20?
Yeah, whenever we did the testnet, it was all bitmap, and that's where they pivoted.
BRC20s. It was bitmaps, and
what did
I don't think it was ever really BRC20s. It was laser,
but that was their objective. Though.
Okay,
it was initially BRC20s.
You're right,
and
you're right.
That's whenever they pivoted away.
Yeah, and then they kind of pivoted to Tap, and now they're pivoting to Pipe. And they're doing this because they see potential in Pipe. They see potential in the UXTO model, which will eventually be runes. So there's a lot of innovating over there on that side. But they are pivoting away from Tap for right now. They are not quitting on Tap. They just see like they're a small team, right? They're not big. There are a couple guys really just coding. They're trying to get the ZK knowledge roll up going, and it's zero knowledge roll up going, and it's a lot of work. And on top of that, they need to build applications for this ZK, and for them, they have to try and put out products, and they're potentially going to put out this testnet for Pipe, and but they're putting the Tap protocol on the back end. And for me and you, I'm a holder of Tap, so I'm biased. I hold minus Tap. I hold a lot of the Tap tokens. I was minting them basically for free, paying gas, and I own a lot of them. With Pipe, I'm a little intimidated by Pipe. Not being a coder, not having a background, and not really having the time to be able to get over there and really sit down and do it. And I've been wanting to. Same thing with ARC20s. Like we've been wanting to, but there's so much going on that like I kind of pivot to the easier things of BRC20s, bitmaps, ordinals, art, that when it comes down to having to physically learn how to code to do some of this stuff, it's intimidating for me.
Yeah. Well, also, you have to take into consideration, like we're constantly planning for like who we're interviewing, and like we both work full-time jobs. And so like we have to actually dedicate like, a day towards these things. And I feel like we have a good handle of what atomicals are and how runes and Pipe work, in the sense of the UTXO model, where I think, first, I think like your explanation of it to me is a great breakdown of why simpler protocols will win the market, right? It's because, like people are fine using Unisat, and, if you're from the EVM world, you still had to learn how to use it. But once you learn how to use it, it was really simple,
Simple. One day.
And I think the problem is with Pipe is it's not that, I know like you and I could like learn it in like half a day. We just went in there. But the problem is like there's not really a wallet dedicated for it.
There's not.
And also
there's no infrastructure.
I think it was, what's the team called that is building that Pipe wallet? Is it Inscribed?
Inscribed. Yeah.
Inscribed. And they released, I think they released like the online version, the browser wallet, and they're like, they literally had like a caution message on there. It said, "Be careful, no refunds." No, I'm like, I'm not touching that. You know what I mean? And like I trust Benny and everybody that's working on it, but like it's not that I think that they would do anything malicious. I think that there's still stuff that needs to be buttoned up, maybe, or
Yeah.
like they're trying to figure out. And this is like, I don't want to be testing stuff with my assets. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Well, my Bitcoin, my precious Bitcoin, where if you lose 0.005, potentially in the future you're losing a couple of $1,000,
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard to want that to happen, especially when I'm already having fun with the simpler stuff. And that's why, to your point, we both do think the simplicity stuff will win, and that's why we do think BRC20s is going to be special, and they're legacy tokens, and first is first. And to me, it's like, yeah, pipe went from 0.002 to 25 cents in a matter of, I want to say, about a month, and we missed
OTC
it.
only, right?
Yeah, OTC only, and we might have missed the 250x, right? So it's one of those things. And do I feel like I've missed it? Yes. Do I feel like am I mad at myself for missing it? Not really, because it's one of those things where it's like I still don't even know where to freaking hold it at. Like well, I'm sorry, Bison Labs put a thing out where it's like sign up for this, and then I go to sign up for it, and it's like put in your pipe wallet, and it's like my pipe wallet.
Yeah.
I gotta, but we do have pipe wallets now because we had to download Bitcoin Core, right? You have to download
Yeah.
Bitcoin Core to your PC, and as streamers and stuff, I don't want to like keep downloading stuff because I need that space so my shit don't keep freezing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, I'm okay downloading Bitcoin Core. I think that's like
yeah,
something cool for us to just like learn how to run a node and
it
all that
is,
stuff.
yeah,
But to your point, like there's parts of like pipe where like private keys and public keys, and
yeah,
whenever you deploy something, you have to know what that key
I
is.
know,
You know what I mean? So it's just, you know what I feel like it is? I feel like it's like basically like Uniswap like version point like 0005 before that,
yeah,
like something they would never release or something like, or the very like whenever MetaMask first like internally came out with like their beta version, they would never release it to the public because
yeah,
like it's not healthy to release something like that to the public,
yep,
right? Because then first people get turned off by it because they're just like, kind of like what we just explained, right?
yeah,
Now, the whole like discussion of all this stuff, you and I talk all the time, and we talk about different things. Like runes is something that's Casey's building that pipe was kind of built because of, right?
yeah,
And at first I was not about it at all, but the more and more I learned, that like Casey's actually looking to possibly use rare sats to
yeah,
create like fungible tokens, that like made me super like bullish instantly on it, because now you're backing fungible tokens on Bitcoin with actual future
yep,
commodities that people consider commodities right now, right?
yep,
That have value and not just like crap coins right off the bat. So and I think, in my opinion, I don't think Casey would release runes until it was very UX friendly,
yeah,
and I
yep,
think that's what needs to happen. That's what should have happened with Pipe. That's, you know what I mean?
yep.
And because I mean, I think he said he was working on Ordinals for 2 years before he released the protocol.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. Yep. And it's kind of the thing too. It's just like with the UTXO model, we don't really know how it's going to work, or even if it does work. And even so, like, all right, yeah, I get a pipe wallet, and then now I got to bridge my pipe wallet over to Bison when it comes out. And it's like, for me, it's like I'd rather just wait for the exchange to happen, and then whatever I have, I can bridge over there already on Bison. I'll just trade for some pipe if I want it. But to me too, I feel like I already have exposure to pipe, owning the tap tokens, because it's kind of like everything's going to go up together. I feel like track tap tokens and pipe tokens, if track goes up, everything goes up with it. So
Yeah.
I feel like I already have exposure with the tap tokens, and to me it's like, would it be awesome to trade tap tokens for pipe tokens and not really know what you're using because you're on the ZK rollup of Bison? Amazing. If I can trade tap in exchange on there for pipe and on Bison, because at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. We want to trade different tokens and not know what the hell we're using.
Yeah.
So
Um, Well, I'll say this. I initially I don't know if you said this publicly, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't. Maybe you didn't say it, but I'll say it now. After I thought about it for a while, I do think Runes wins in that, like out of the UTXO, even with Atomicals. Maybe
Yeah.
Atomicals can prove me wrong. The thing about Atomicals is that they're missing that like community presence, right? Like
Yep.
just like the acceptance of it, right? And maybe they can get that going. But Casey actually incorporated the runestone into the Ord 0.10.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yep.
Okay. So he's actually incorporating runes into ordinals. Now,
Yep.
so you can use Unisat or
Yep.
Xverse.
Yep.
It's just going to win because of that, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we won't feel like we have to like bridge like so much and all this stuff. It's all going to be in one
Yeah.
place. And that's why I think I've kind of changed my sentiment towards Casey and Runes because of that, and because you can tell he's very type A. He's going to make sure that people like it before he releases it.
Yeah. And I've been saying this privately for a while, and I think Runes is it's gonna outbeat everything, besides BRC20s, which is the legacy tokens. But I think Runes will be the token standard, the shitcoin casino that Casey is talking about. And I think there will be a spot for pipe. And I don't like it. Sucks I feel that way because I love Benny. I love track, and I love everything that they're building with tap and everything. But it's just one of those things where it's just like sometimes when you just know. And I think it was the BTC startup guys, Albert, he said this out of nowhere, and he wasn't afraid to hurt anyone's feelings, but he said that everything else has a 10% chance of winning and Runes has a 90% chance of winning. And I highly, I already was thinking that before he said it. And to me, it's like, and I hate saying that, but it's almost destiny, because Casey built ordinals. People are gonna say, and then when Casey drops runes, you're gonna see all these big media outlets like CoinDesk and stuff. They're gonna say, maker of ordinals now makes a shitcoin casino, or
Yeah. Well, they're not going to
new.
word it like that, but
Well, they probably will, because they're like they're gonna say things like now builds a token standard on top of his ordinance. So now you have a new token standard, and they're not gonna mention pipe and tap and stuff. And when you're a new user, ordinals are easy, and if they can incorporate, you know what I mean, with what they're doing with runes, it's even gonna make it easier. And but then who knows? I could be completely wrong,
yeah.
but.
Yeah. Well, and like it took me a while to realize this, which I don't know why, but maybe it's because we have been so like sucked into the community, and we just know what's going on because you and I are in there every single day, probably like too much, right? and
Way too much.
But Casey is basically our Vitalik. He's our Andre
Kanye.
Yeah, Kanye to Phantom, Vitalik to Ethereum, and Casey is going to eventually be that like household name that people talk about, in my opinion, especially if he can pull off the runes situation. So if he can combine runes and ordinals together, and that's like one cohesive ecosystem, even though one is UTXO model, which, to be fair, UTXO model from a fungible token standard makes more sense than BRC20 because Bitcoin itself works on that functionality of the UTXO model. I mean, these tokens would work just like Bitcoin does. So, but I'm with you on the legacy BRC20s. I feel like that will always have its place, and that's not normal. It's not normal for that, but because it's like this JSON script that like started everything. I do feel like BRC20s will forever have its place. I do.
I agree.
Now, also, just real quick, I think Benny actually can do something with tap, and I'm not just saying that because I also hold tap tokens, and when I hear him talking, actually, it seems like he's kind of like he's excited about pipe, but I think Benny knows in the back of his mind that when runes comes, the UTXO token is going to be runes, right? and he knows that tap has like an additional functionality to it, and there's a place for it perfectly. It's so crazy because like I was like, man, what like where's tap gonna find its place? And then I thought it was Bison Labs, right, on the Bison network. But I've always known that like there's been a connection with bitmaps, but now like with Bison kind of being out of the picture with tap, maybe they connect later. But bitmap ecosystem can definitely connect with tap. We'll see what happens with that. There's a lot of people that want to do stuff with bitmap.
But like I don't think tap needs Bison Labs. Yeah, that would be awesome, but you're still bridging in the Bison Labs. I just want something simple as Unisat right now, right? And just like it's like as simple as Unisat just for tap tokens. Whether that just be Unisat and they adopt tap tokens and they earn the fees. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things where it's like we don't need this insane swap right now. We just need a place where we can kind of put liquidity in and start buying these things in NFT form. There's not even that right now. And it's just like, and it's been like 4 or 5 months now. It's getting hard to hold these tokens because I can't even see them without going to track that network and just looking at my my freaking. I can't look at prices. It's just, and maybe I'm just getting frustrated, and I should I shouldn't be that way, but it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, come on now. Let me start swapping, man. Like, let me start like.
Well, it's not hard to hold the tokens because you can't get rid of them unless you OTC them.
I don't, and that goes against every part of me. I refused. I did OTC to minus tap because I missed that, and but I don't like OTC. I trust Shep. If you're looking to OTC, you use Shep. He's in the track Discord.
He's the guy.
He's the guy I used when I did it. I still don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. And like I talked to the tap.exchange guys. They say that like end of year is really that deadline for them to make that tap market. And maybe they're trying to time it too a little bit with like heading into the new year, and Bitcoin might be at 45K or 40K by then,
But they're doing it on Bison, right? And like, who knows if like
they're creating like the Unisat version first, yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes me happier. But it's kind of like that song, man. I want it all, and I want it now. But yeah,
we gotta wait, man. We gotta be patient for our
nice Christmas present. But yeah. And I'm sorry if I hurt anyone's feelings. I love Bison. I love Tap. I love Track. But I kind of wish that Pipe never existed. I kind of wish Benny's full focus was Tap. But
yeah, well, I think he did it just to like prepare for runes and all that stuff. Plus, the community his community benefited from it in terms of 100%. Learning and coding and stuff like that.
I agree.
At the end of the day, though, Shizzy, I think that we have a lot of good, like the community has a lot of good options in terms of asset classes that have already been built out from Ordinals. I mean, there is, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's just simple as that. And like, if you're in it every day, like we are, and some of our audience is, then you're going to know what to kind of hold on to. And once the bull happens and Bitcoin's at 60, 80, 100K, we're going to benefit directly from that right off the bat.
Yep.
So
let's jump into our last topic.
Which one was that?
No. Did we go to this one already?
We talked about it. Yeah. So this is just real quick. Like the runes possibilities is with rare stats. That's something that Casey was talking about, I believe.
Yeah.
So this is really cool. So if runes does become this kind of casino in a sense, he's trying to make it like a high rollers casino, right? Like to where there's quality behind these tokens. Yeah. If you are to create like a token, like uncommon tokens, basically all the tokens, there's 111,000 uncommons first stat in each block. You back each of those with a token. You create a token standard for them. You could do that for like palindromes, which would be 121 million supply. You get what I'm saying? So now you're not starting off with just speculation only. You actually have hard assets backing it. What do you think about that?
100%. I love it. I love that idea. I love rare sats, and that combines rare sats with friggin'
Shit
fungible
coinery.
tokens, right? It's a corner, a casino. It's absolutely genius. It's absolutely amazing, and I'm excited for it. I got to read more into it. I don't want to
Speculate too
not
much on it.
know
Yeah.
everything before I really give my opinion. But from at the outside looking in and not really looking too much into it, I think you brought this my attention. So it's one of those things where I was like, I need to take a deep dive, and I think everyone should. And it's just one of those things where let's take a deeper dive on how it's going to work, and yeah, let's dig in.
Yeah. So it is speculation, obviously, everybody. So definitely do some research on runes. And we'll see what happens. But I do know that, like, from listening to a couple of the spaces he's been in, he's trying to put some features in there so it's not so, like,
Bland.
scammy feeling is what he
well, that too.
says. But anyways, cool. So you
Yeah.
can womp womp womp. This new topic here.
Yeah. So Unisat swap delay. So it was October 25th. Today's October 26th. So if you're feeling like you missed it, you ain't missed nothing yet. It hasn't happened yet. So
Yeah.
it got pushed back to, I want to say, the 31st.
Yeah,
Or the 28th.
Tuesday.
Tuesday the 31st, which
Yep.
is the
Hallows
Bitcoin
Eve.
white paper birthday. So, and Halloween. But to me, Halloween does not exist. It's the Bitcoin white paper birthday. My wife said I would take the kids out for Halloween. I said, no, we take the kids out for the Bitcoin white paper birthday.
Yeah, but this was the right thing. This was the right thing because there was some indexing issues that was happening, and Unisat said, "Hey, we're gonna pull the swap and push it back a week or 6 days," and I think it was the right thing. So
I agree. I'm okay with waiting. I know I said I was impatient with the the tap, but I'm still okay swapping these as we normally swap them, and I want this to be right. And honestly, I don't have enough. I want them to delay a little bit more so I can keep buying, but that's just my personal thing. So I can't wait to get into the prices of everything because it's at prices are jumping for these BRC20s.
Yep. Speaking of, let's jump right in. If you're good.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me share my screen here. We're gonna do the BRC20 weekly market update. All right. Okay, so this week has been a little nuts. Obviously, Bitcoin is like shot up like crazy, and the BRC20s have kind of seen. It was all green the past 2 days, and now we're seeing some pullback. But IBTC is in #1 spot for volume. So this is a new ticker, and I did see the Chinese community really getting behind this. Obviously, it's based off of BlackRock's what is it, DDSS or whatever ticker. It's the what is it called? The Bitcoin ETF ticker. But it is down 20.75% because it was up like I want to say like 700%. So you can get this for 7 cents, 21 million supply. So keep your eye out on this. This might be a good one to take a look at because, like I said, the Chinese community is backing this. I've seen several posts on it. Then you have #2 Sats down 3.98%. Still, this is pretty consistent. Stays in that 4 zeros and the 7. It's really staying kind of there. You can get 100 billion for 24.34. I don't know. It still seems real. I'm pretty confident in SAT still. It hasn't really plummeted at all.
Yeah, it's been ranging between 0.00065 and 0.00075. It's been really ranging there. If you wanted to take a trade on something like that, it really seems to be steady. So
yeah, 100%. OXBT. Wow. Okay, so this one, man, I missed the boat on this one because
I did not.
Like, did you pick some up 2 days ago?
I've been buying. I've been buying the last probably I've been buying around 32. I bought around 36 and I bought around 38. And then it got to the 40s and I was like, let me wait. But that would have been still a good buying opportunity because, I'm up about, I want to say about, what's that? About 70% on those buys right now. So
nice. Yeah, I just, man, like there's just, I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to wait I think when I saw it was at 39, I was like, if it gets to 30, I'll buy, but I should have did it. Like we had BitGod on the other day and he really kind of put some confidence into OXBT for me. But obviously I missed it. I'm not going to buy when it's up 45%. I don't know. This continues to be a great swing traded token, continues to be a great swing traded token.
Bitcoin dropped some alpha on our show, and I don't know if that alpha was out before that, but he basically said that he's going to create a swapping feature for his new project, swapping maybe like some type of passes or some type of thing for OXBT. So he's going to be taking OXBT out of circulation. And to me, I was like, you do that, I'm going to keep holding my OXBT because you just made the supply lower.
Yeah.
Right. So because these are legacy tokens to me. Like, your pass might be awesome and I might still get it. But to me, I want to hold the legacy tokens, which, OXBT it's going to be one of the top 10 legacy tokens forever. So it's like, please cut the circulation. Do whatever you can. Burn them for art. Do whatever you can. I'm still going to hold it.
Yeah. No, great point, man. So I think he's looking. When we had him on, he was talking about it. Man, it just seemed like he's like really brainstorming on how to utilize it into like quadrillion, whether that's airdrops or whatever. But we'll see what happens there.
And Redacted as well. Redacted wants to figure out ways to burn it away. You gotta remember Redacted was one of the first OXBT backers. Like originally, we thought it was they're still putting out a PFP collection for OXBT. So
Yep. We'll see what happens there. Number 4, Oshi. I think Merlin dropped something today. Like it was like a JavaScript BRC20 indexer or something. Did you see that?
I did not see that. No.
Yeah. So, but it was actual code. But at the same time, like, is he a part of the team? Like, what's going on, right? So I don't know. Maybe that helped bump it up a little bit. But it's still down 2.59%.
I'm gonna get a button for my thing. It's gonna be like sell. So that's what I think about that Oshi. If it gets back to 200, just get rid of it all.
Yeah. GBTC down 37.4%. Ordi, man, this got up to like $5 and like is that $5.35? It got up to like $5.65, but still it's up, right? It's kind of flowing with Bitcoin, like we always talk about. iETH, this is new and stupid. I feel like it's just basically a play off of IBTC, right? So it's down 54%. Moon is up 4%. Almost bought some of that because it was down like 30% yesterday. BTCS is down 13.79%. I've been looking at this one. It's at 18 cents, a little high for me, but man, this is one of the strongest Chinese community tokens there is. I'll tell you that for sure.
And we learned recently that it's a DAO token.
Yeah, there's a DAO.
Right, so
we filled out that thing for it, right? So that's definitely something I'm keeping my eye on. If it gets to like say like 13 cents, I'll probably jump in there because it was down to like 7 cents before, right? So ETCS is up 333%. I don't know what that is. It's something with Ethereum, I think, or something. This is the emoticon or emoji Bitcoin logo token. It's up 25%. Pepe is down 24%. Council is up 34%. Wow, surprised to see that. $64 though. Yikes. Okay.
Sell.
Track is down 5.99%. This was at 42 cents. It was ranging. It was at 40 to 42 cents. It's at 39 cents.
That's been ranging from about 38 to 42 for the last month.
Yeah. So very consistent. That's one thing I love about Track's price. SBTC up 4.35%. XBTC down 3.23%. Meme token is up 6.87%. Mapo, what are they at? I got a little Mapo. Okay. I have to look at my Mapo. They haven't been in the top 24 forever.
Have you noticed some of these older tokens are
started coming back?
Yeah, dude. Mapo, and it was like ZZAB and a bunch of these older ones that I got into when I first got in.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. This is me personally. The ones that I have that were gone for a long time, and then all of a sudden they're jumping back in. As soon as the swap comes out and they jump up, I'm selling those quick as day. Because to me, that is that team that's trying to revive it. And I don't think that's right. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to get the hype around it again. So that's just me personally. Long is up 28.2%. Naka is down 24%, and Texo is up 25%. BTCT is down 70%, and OBTC is up 21.37%.
Yeah.
So this week has been a little bit mixed up and down, but it's been good overall, I would say.
It has. Yep.
And so that is your BRC20 weekly update.
Yeah, and guys, when I say things like sell, and stuff like that's my personal opinion. If you're selling something or buying something because I said it, then you're not doing your due diligence and stuff like that. And nothing I say is financial advice, and I just want to keep saying that because it's just the way I feel, and I don't want anyone to ever hit me like, "Oh, you a-hole! You should. Why did you tell me to sell? I didn't tell you anything."
Yeah,
yeah. I'm just giving my opinion, and this is all just our opinion. So
yeah, for sure. And real quick before you jump into the Magic Eden, I want to talk about Bitcoin Frogs Vibes. This is a derivative project of the Bitcoin Frogs. I actually ended up winning one of their frogs in one of their contests. There's only 111 total. I saw this art like months ago in the Ord.io feed. And finally, they released the derivative. The founder is really cool. I talk to him in DMs all the time. It's really what they're trying to do is spread like good vibes. That's like their whole, mantra. And guys, check it out. It is on Magic Eden. It's pretty cheap. I want to say probably like $30 is the floor.
Yeah.
And you can check out their Twitter at BTC Frogs Vibes. So I just wanted to give them a shout out there.
Shout out Bitcoin Frog Vibes. That's a pretty cool project. What's the total supply on that?
111.
Okay, so it is a couple percent to the 10,000 of the normal.
Yeah. And I think they're inscribed on like block 7.8 and vintage sats. Yeah. So
and I'll hop over to Magic Eden and give you guys an update on the Ordinal NFT section of it. So this is Venus Takura Amano, the famous Japanese artist. His art dropped today. They're launching and launched going pretty good. I think they dropped it down to 100. They sold about 30. I want to say 30 already. And I really like what they're doing. The mistake that they made is they didn't wait long enough. They didn't put their community together in order to do this. To me, this isn't the market to be dropping something like this. And I feel I really wanted this to succeed because it's going to drive other artists to come over to Ordinals. And
it minted like a lot. The first 3 things minted out quick though.
But it's only 30 out of the potential 300 out of 100. So
it is okay.
Yeah, it moved it down to 100, and I'm a huge fan of the art and stuff like that. But in this market, if you're having an NFT project, you need to build a community, whether that's free things or whatever. Get your community first. Build the community before you build your project. Like that's kind of like what Kimmy's doing, right? He's building his community first. He's with us every Saturday morning. He's getting his name out there. So eventually when he drops his Ordinal project, you're going to know the name Kimmy. It's going to stand out to you. You know what I mean? So it's just like, build your community first, please.
I agree with you. I think this artist though, he's famous, right? In Japan. So there would have to be like a community project manager for him. To do that, right? So I actually think that this project will end up doing well with value.
I think it will too. 100%. But I just don't think this is the market for that.
Or maybe the timing's a little off.
Yeah. And I wish I wish I could, help out some projects and like guys, please reach out to us. If you're dropping a project, and you're a big artist and stuff like that, reach out to us, man. We could really help you and help you build your community and
build it through like running spaces for a good month.
Exactly.
Or, before you do it. So
and they have been dropping spaces, but the spaces, they're not huge. And like come on our spaces. Every Saturday morning we have a spaces. We had like 100 to 700 people in there. We'll bring you up. We'll help you build your community through ours. And we want the space to succeed and use us. And we're not charging anything. So it's just like I don't know. I just wish people We'll just build a community first, but that's just me. Anyway, Ordinal Maxi Biz sitting at 0.175. This is down in Bitcoin, up in dollars. So that's one of those that we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
So, and we got the Bitcoin Frogs, which is up in Bitcoin and up in dollars. This thing is killing it. It's up from 0.00181 last
Someone
week.
bought like, I want to say 20 of them or more.
Yeah.
And,
So
yeah.
Some whale is whaling, right?
Yep.
So rare stat sitting at 0.00006, which is tough to say because there's so many of them we'll jump into. If you want an uncommon, you'll be paying around, wow, only $108 for an uncommon, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I got one. Dude, I got a 2015 for 108.
Wow.
I sniped it, yeah.
Damn, dude. These are all 23s. Wow, man. Wow. If you wanted a rare, you'd be paying 3.5 Bitcoin.
That's it.
And then black uncommons, they're going for about 0.0065, about $22. And then
chap.
Well, palindromes.
Yeah.
Sitting at about $2.50. But if you wanted a 2009 palindrome, how much you'll be paying? Around $6.96. So that's one of the ones that we really enjoy picking off when they hit that floor price of $2.50. So
Yep.
Yeah, man. And then we'll jump to Bitcoin Punk sitting at 0.023. And we got bitmaps sitting at 0.0019. Wow, 19, back to 19. That's the point that I've been buying. Whenever it drops to these prices, I've been buying 9 of them at a time because it's just a cool little feature here called the sweep. So anyway, we'll jump. If you wanted a 1-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around where is it? 3 Bitcoin. If you wanted a 2-digit bitmap, and you'll be paying around 0.108. If you want a 3-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around 0.018. If you wanted a 4-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around 0.0025. And if you wanted a 5-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around 0.00029, which is about 50% higher than floor. Jumping back to Magic Eden. This is a new one. Genie Data 0.01. Genie Data is back up, bro. This went all the way down to about 0.005.
Dude,
back up to 0.01.
I better be getting some free gym memberships, free freaking Netflix. The 0.01, bro. I love it. I got one.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're lucky enough to get one. Those guys, all you really had to do was get in their Discord, get in their chats, and you were able to get one like we did. And something that's awesome. And we gave we gave away two to some winners, so just by watching the show. So and then Goosenol is 0.00122, another one that is up in dollars but down in Bitcoin. What does this one say? What's that? Abstra Ordinals sitting at 0.088. Osh really getting whoops, man. It's sitting at 0.0012. Down, I want to say about 40% on the week. ABC sitting at 0.005. BitApe Spiderboard Yacht Cup members sitting at 0.0037. Anti-NFT BTC Maxi sitting at 0.35. This is a new one right here. I've never seen this. But yeah. And it's not coming up for me. But and that is
look at the range.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay.
So it's one of the early inscriptions.
Yeah. And that is your BRC 20 and Ordinal updates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was just saying both of them together. But yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yep. I think this was a really great show, man. And we appreciate you guys watching, listening. Every view, every comment means a lot to us. So please do that. We had a really strong week this week. We had some great videos. You can go check those out. We had Big God. Then we had Romaine from Sato.
Huge.
I was absolutely huge, man. Having a Bitcoin miner this week's been really special. Really great week for us. And I hope you guys really enjoyed the episodes.
Yeah. It has been definitely a good week, and I feel like It's for me personally, like I did take some profit today.
Yeah.
And just remember, like, I'm not telling anybody to do how to handle their investments or anything like that, but just, have a smart plan is, I think that's a fair thing to say, right? Like, always do your research and, if it makes sense, then take profits. You got to do that, because if you don't,
100%.
then why are we doing this at all? Right. Like that's some of it. That's some of it. Right. So,
yeah. Yep.
But we appreciate the support. We're getting there. We're getting closer to 1,000. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but especially because how much love that we get from you guys. It's like, man, I feel like we have like 10,000 subs.
Yeah. I mean, we really just got started in July, right? Ordinal
Yeah.
Revolution was born, I want to say, was it July 27th or something? So I think we're
Yeah.
doing really well. And, we can't do anything about you guys watching. So we appreciate that.
For sure.
See you guys.
Peace.
Peace.